Welcome everybody to the West Coast by Bullet Bill of Frontier Design. I am so excited to play this map. If you haven't checked his trailer out, be sure to, I'll include a link on it up in the upper right hand corner. We are getting started. We just moved here from About du Monde, and we moved in the fall, so I started off this season in the fall. Fritz, which is who I am driving, as well as, Bessie and Fritz were the only two vehicles that I shipped from France, and you can check out more about that also in the in my previous video, which I'll include, a link to it above in the upper right hand corner as well. So you can check that out if you enjoy spreadsheets and numbers and how I came up with the $500,000 I have and the beginning equipment. That's kind of the story behind that. You can also check out more about Fritz and Bessie and the long lost Jackie and all the other vehicles and equipment that I used to have in the past. And About du Monde was a fun map, but I cannot wait to play on this one. And oh man, I gotta turn around and look. That's one of my favorite views right there. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, the flashing lights don't really add to it too much, but that is one of like with the traffic there, you can barely see the traffic moving in the background there. I don't know, for some reason that's always just been one of my favorite views. Oh man. Anyway, we're driving Fritz back to the farm. I'll turn off the hazards just to make it a little bit more bearable while I am talking, and we get to go down this roller coaster here. And okay, that's always fun. Yep, that is the entrance to the default starting farm, I think. I actually didn't ever look at where Bullet Bill has placed the starting vehicles because I have claimed in our fictional story, our uncle died and gave us this land. That's why we moved from the West Coast, because we started out there with no land and just a bunch of debt. We worked our way up in one season, made a little bit of money, and we sold off everything and took the profit into our, current map here. And the field prices were actually highly inflated over there. They're a lot more realistic on this map. So if you're wondering why I have a lot more money, that's why. The field prices were inflated. You can see a lot of the fields that I have bought up there. Let's just exit to the main map overview. So our uncle gave us a bunch of those pastures up there, all the pastures in the 20s he gave us. I bought field 31 through 33, and then 34, 5, and 39 and 40. I bought those with all of the money I brought over from About du Monde, and we still have 500,000 left, and that is all going to go towards cattle. The goal here is we're going to become dairy farmers, and so we're definitely going to use all those pastures. We have a lot to accomplish before the winter and the snow comes. You can see it looks like it'll snow on Saturday and it's going to rain on Tuesday. Not a lot of time left in the fall. If you are paying close attention, you can see that did I drive past the entrance? Well, anyway, so that happened. That's a little embarrassing. We have sent my brother ahead to our farm over here, Mountain View Farm. He has purchased most of the equipment out here and delivered it to our farm, so we're ready to go. But the goal is to become a dairy farm, and my grandpa used to have this entire northern half of the map he used to own. He used to have a huge dairy operation, but it has since fallen by the wayside. My uncle, spent a lot of money poorly, I guess, let's say that. And so he only gave me a few small fields and no cows. So the rest of the money is going to go towards livestock. That's our goal. And like I said, there's a lot to accomplish before winter. But here is our farm. I have managed to, fictionally, I am pretending that, let's just look at the map again. Fictionally, I'm pretending that this is the only farm that we own. If I want to use any of the other farms, I'm going to take like 300,000 out of my bank account to pretend that I bought that farm. But for right now, I had to cram everything onto this farm because that's all we own. And Fritz is almost out of fuel. I'll have to fix that in a minute. there's a lot of new additions that we did not have on Labatt du Monde. We have this field service trailer that is really nice. It can carry fuel and also repair things for the seasons and bring those changes out to the field. We have a nice little Land Rover with the right-hand drive, so that's actually pretty cool. It takes a lot getting used to. Honestly, when I was setting up this farm, I probably hopped in on this side about 50 times, and of course that's the wrong side to drive. This is, if you're not familiar, is the charging station for the app where Control Z brings it up. And if you hit horse, so here it's great because you can look at all your fields. Field 35, for example, is one that we own. And you can see the seed usage. So we can better plan out the seed that we need to buy for the spring. So that way we don't buy too much seed and we don't, we don't fall short in the middle of this planting season. I managed to back our header trailer into there. We'll have to grab that and take that out to Bessie, who is getting ready to harvest. And I'm thinking that we'll use this pasture maybe for an extra building so we can have some storage there. Because right now, there's just not enough room for anything. Yeah, so as many people suggested, we do have a second tractor. I'll be using Courseplay. My brother is out here on the map with us. So we have Frederick is the name of this tractor, Von Frederick, if you want to get formal. We'll talk more about the story behind Von Frederick Stein's name, and I'll get to the history behind him. It's basically another Navy story, like so many of my stories are. This one, I think originally, we will call it Landy. Not because of it's a Land Rover, silly, because I like Landy Kids videos, and we'll call his Land Rover Landy. And moving on to the other side of the farm, we have managed to cram all of our baling equipment, except for the baler, into this small little shed here. Don't want to get any rust on any of the new paint jobs. We got some tools there. Here, of course, is where we will be putting our cows. Currently, like I said, our uncle had to sell off the herd to just keep a hold of the grassland that he owned. So we have to buy some of those cows. And here's the slurry pit. Soon, hopefully, it will be full so we can spray some slurry out there for harvest. And many other users in the Labatt du Monde suggested to have a smaller tractor, and I agree. I was really sad to see Evelyn go. Evelyn was my front loader, for those that don't know. But Evelyn, I sold it for $40,000. I bought this tractor for $40,000, and you can do so much more with a tractor than you can with just a simple skid steer. And I think it was a smart choice. Unfortunately, I was really sad to see Evelyn go. That one, you can... Yeah, anyway, yeah, it's a lot more useful. And then in here is what we will probably use for grain storage eventually, but right now it is where we parked a couple vehicles, and this will be Bessie's parking spot as well. We don't need to store any grain right now for the moment, so actually we'll probably just grab one of those trailers and head out to the field and hook up with Bessie. I think that is as good a plan as any. If you're wondering why I have two trailers, one of them, let me just touch on that real quick. The Smith trailer, I am putting the final touches on the more realistic mod for that trailer. I just want to make sure it tests before I release it publicly. And this one already has a public released XML on the data bank. So it's also pretty fitting because Bullet Bill, Marston Pack, and, obviously the author of this website. Wow, website. The author of this map. Hello. Alright. Here we go. Let's get back in Fritz. We'll fill up Fritz with some fuel. And while that is going, how about we jump in... Should we jump in Frederick? And maybe get him started on something? I don't know. We definitely need to get started on some grass work. Big thanks to my brother for setting this up. Oh yeah, in case you didn't watch any of my previous series, I will not be hiring out any labor. I put Courseplay charging wages to no, because at the end of the year, you can look on the previous episode, on the last episode for Labatt du Monde, but it covers that there, where there's basically going to be, my brother's going to have a $60,000 salary annually, and I'm going to take that at the end of the year. So that way we don't have to worry about hired help or wage payments, but we can still have one extra Courseplay driver out there. I think that's probably a good plan. Alright, let's get going down to the field. I think that we will have... Here we go. Should we hook this up to here? I guess. Maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oops, wrong way. And yeah, I was able to get it in there pretty nicely. You know, these trailers where the rear wheels steer are actually really easy to back in. It's so much easier to back in than the traditional trailer. I think that actually, do I want to try? Yeah, let's try something. Let's try something a little fun here. I know the Martian trailer has a rear hitch, so let's just hook into that one. We can check out my trailer later. Right now, I think it'll be a great start if we start out with another thing made by Bullet Bill. We'll back up into that thing carefully. All right. And hopefully, I think we got it. Nope, a little bit more. It's always hard to tell with the depth perception on this view. It's really hard to see. There we go. Okay. We need to go out to the left just slightly, I think. And then crank it hard to the right, and I think that should, the whole depth perception thing, and I don't know if we'll make that. We'll just jog it a little bit. There we go. And let's check behind us, make sure we are clear. And I think we are good. Okay, we're going to back into the header trailer and try to take both these down there at once. I think that is, well, you know what? It's a short drive. Maybe I should just have my brother take one of them. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's have my brother take one of them. We'll do that. Okay, change of plans. If you are new to this series or you haven't been paying close attention, but you basically have to be blind to miss this, which is, I change what I say a lot. Nothing really ever stays according to plan here. Whether or not it's because of the weather and, you know, that already changed your plans enough, but then I typically decide something else is better, even after I've already said, you know, plan B is better than plan A. I switch it and do plan C, you know, something entirely different. We will hopefully get a little bit better at that. Okay, Fritz. You know, this is actually a perfect job for our other tractor, but I wanted to get Fritz a little acclimated to the West Coast here. He's never been here. We have the other tractor that has been here a while. So we'll hook up my brother in that one. I'll say, hey, brother, just, oh, no. You know, I'm all for women farmers, but it's kind of frustrating when you're role-playing and you say, hey, my brother is following me, and then you look in the cab and it's a woman driver. It's like, I'm sorry. Some people might think I'm sexist, but my brother is actually a male, and I would like to see a male driving a tractor. I don't know what else to say to that. So, I don't know. It'd be great if they had an option to toggle male or female farmers, but then, who knows, there'd probably be a big uproar in the community for, why are you saying that females aren't, why are you excluding females from the farm? I don't know. Anyway, it just, well, stop talking about that. Be sure to go slow enough so that I don't want... Okay, yeah, he's tailing us pretty close. We're good. We got this nice, beautiful sunset. Whoops. We are on 1x. I always play on 5x speed. I think that the 1x was just from when I was originally setting up the map. Normally, it's always 5x speed, and the 5x speed with 9-day seasons, I'm telling you, it gives you just enough time. You know, the seasons feel long enough where they're real. You have to prepare enough hay for the winter, hay and straw for the cows. It's not like a little 3-day season, but it's not too long, and the 5x speed really gives you the sense that time is passing. It's great. I love it. All right, here we go. Let's pull in here. And I think we're going to have to should probably turn on our flashers, hazards, but it's just a short jaunt. Is this the field? Yeah, this is it. So we will pull in here, and we'll just run up the side of the field there, and Fritz should follow us enough where we can get the combine head offloaded. Just come a little bit more. Come a little bit more, buddy. Come on, brother. There we go. That's just about perfect. All right. Now, we just have to decide if it is... Let's try going and see how it goes. I think that... Get out of there. I think that this field is dry enough where we can say we are starting. We'll at least open it up and see how tough it is. There is supposed to be some rain tomorrow, so there might already be some moisture in the air. We might not be able to do this in real life, but, you know, conditions could easily be dry tonight and then just rain tomorrow. That's a possibility. Alright, let's get out of here. I should probably leave. Let's see, how are we going to do this? Oh, wage payment. You know, that's something that at the end of the day, I'm going to have to go back and add in all the wage payments, because the only wage payment should be the $5,000 per month that my brother gets. Because he doesn't get paid anything else and nobody else gets paid. Okay. Let's get to opening up this field. I believe, well, turning on the headlights would help. I believe that this field is, oops, well, okay, that would also help. I believe that this field is, this is the long row direction. So that will be the end rows, but unfortunately I don't think we can make that turn. So let's open this up a little bit and then we will head back the other way. And I think we'll be able to make the turn at that point. Alright. So let's check our mirrors, make sure we are missing the trailer and trees. I think we are pretty good there. Okay. So now we just need to kind of open it up diagonally a little bit. There we go. Don't want to hit the fence. And can we make that turn? I don't know if we can make that turn. We'll just do one more, a little bit more here straight to get the field open. In case you missed some of my previous episodes, I did talk a lot about how you generally don't want to turn or go around too sharp of a turn when you are driving a combine. If you look at the snout there, like all the way on the left side or the right side there, the very edge is the snout. That little pointy thing that sticks out on the edge that kind of separates the crop between going in the head and out of the head. If you imagine that down on the ground and you turn really sharp over the field, it basically flattens some of the crop and pushes it down, and it causes the head to miss it. And that's generally not ever a good thing. Not generally, it is never a good thing. But, so just opening up the field the way that I did it, where you go forward a couple cuts. Obviously, you can't do that in a cornfield. You need to stick to the road. But that's also why you plant a cornfield methodically with proper consideration for the harvest, for the combine to follow. You always plant end rows with a way to get the combine in the field easily. Alright, we are burning the, well, I was going to say midnight oil, but not quite midnight yet. We can actually bring down the baler and get started baling some hay. Hopefully we can, straw. Hopefully we can get all the straw out before that rain tomorrow. That would be great. But I don't know if we can. Yeah, see, like that much of a turn would probably be okay. It would push back some of the wheat into the other rows, but it would still probably get picked up the next pass that you make. So that's not too bad of a turn there. How are we going to do this field? Are we going to have course plate take this over at some point? I'm still trying to decide how to best use my brother and me. Right now, we got my brother. He's invisible. He's right there riding the combine with me. This is actually how we typically open up fields in real life. We just ride the combine together. It's fun. We get to spend time together. And also, opening a field is well, it's kind of dangerous, and not necessarily dangerous for people, or, well, I guess maybe, but there's just a lot more stuff to hit. And, you know, even in Illinois with the few trees that we have, it helps to have an extra body to help you open up the fields. So we typically open up the field together just because, you know, what's the other person going to do? It's not like they're running to the elevator because the wagons are all here. You know, the grain truck is here, so there's not that much else to do. Instead of sitting in the tractor, he sits in the combine with me, or vice versa. Also, I talked a lot about, in my very first harvest video, you know, whoever is driving the combine, the other person walks behind it and checks how much grain there is on the ground, just to make sure that all the settings are correct. There's a lot of settings in a combine every time you switch to crops or even fields. But I've talked about that in one of my other videos before, so I won't go too much in detail about that. The newer combines are really nice. I'd love to one day drive a new combine where it adjusts everything automatically. I'm not sure how well they work, but I don't know. I'd feel a little bit uneasy about it, probably. I'd probably still want to do all the adjustments manually. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Nope, let's miss the chaff there. Okay. We will just give ourselves enough room to turn around. And I'm not sure how much of this field will get done tonight. It is going to rain tomorrow, so it would be great to be able to work into the night a little bit. Get most of this field done, if not all of it. We'll just see how it goes. Look at that beautiful swath. I am so glad we brought Bessie with us over here to the West Coast. Bessie has definitely earned it. Man, it feels like I am moving way too fast. This is really fast. Well, I guess we just have to trust the more realistic mod at this point. It feels way too fast, though. I mean, at a certain speed, the cutting head won't even be able to keep up. Even if the combine could keep up with, you know, threshing this amount of grain entering, at a certain speed, that sickle under there at the very front of the head that cuts the crop going into the header, it won't be able to keep up. But those are all things you can adjust on the fly. Alright, we've got pretty good crop here. You know, one of the things I really miss about this game is, in real life, especially at night, when the air gets a little heavy with dew, you look out behind the combine, and like a field this size, you would see a trail of dust floating across the entire field from where the combine, you know, drove. And I don't know, I feel like the dust in this game, I know they have to make it for consoles, I know particles systems or whatever, you know, they're pretty intensive on the processor, the graphics. But that's something that I would absolutely love to see improved in future versions, or at least the option to turn it up or turn it down. Because to me, that is probably, well, I was going to say the most realistic feature that I think is missing. Obviously, the more realistic mod is missing from the game. But aside from that, as far as like gameplay features, I think that the improvement of dust particles would go a long way to improving this game. But anyway, let's talk more about the West Coast map. We don't need to talk about improvements on the game. We're playing this awesome map, and we should definitely be happy about that. And we are. Okay. Should I do, let's see, 2 passes on the end rows or 3? I don't know. Let's do 3. It'll just make it a little bit easier to turn around. And since I'm already almost backed up, I might as well just back up. I'll just back up all the way. I think that'll be faster at this point. Make sure we don't hit anything. We're almost there. The field's not that wide. Whoops. Yeah, okay. I didn't hit anything. I thought I was running into the crop there, but it kind of curves at the end. just at the very end. So I missed it. We're good. And this yield for not being fertilized is actually pretty good, but I think that's more, I forget, the more realistic mod, it really improves the yield for wheat, for most of the crops actually. Alright, should we dump here? Well, trailer's kind of facing the wrong way to dump. Let's curve over there just a little bit. And maybe if we make an opening, actually, I think we'll do one pass. Should we do one pass around the field? I don't know. Let's just head over to the other side. No. Yeah, let's just well, okay. We'll stop here. And maybe now's a good time for my story about indecision. I might talk about that in a minute. Oh, we also got to share the story about Frederick and how Frederick got his name and why I thought of Frederick here. Von Frederick. This map is awesome. Unfortunately, we can't really see anything right now, but we'll get a better tour tomorrow. You know, I still have never toured that part of the map before. I really want to not drive in the field. I really want to see the rest of this map, and I cannot wait for when I get to view that. Okay, let's pull forward a little bit. Actually, in this trailer, I think we could have pulled up alongside the combine. In most... Wow, it's really loud here. 1 second. Let me get inside the combine, then I'll tell you what I was thinking. Okay. With most trailers, at least auger wagons and stuff in the U.S., you really have to watch, because if you look at the way the auger opens, you know, it starts out flat and it raises at an angle to a given height. You really have to be careful when you pull alongside a combine. If it doesn't have the auger raised yet, the combine operator should know that, you know, to pull out the auger first and then pull up with the wagon. Otherwise, you stand the chance of, especially with taller trailers like auger wagons, you could easily whack the edge of the auger wagon as the auger for the combine is opening up there, because it raises as it goes up. In case you didn't get that, you can watch again as I put the auger back. So let's put it back there. Well, if I can hit the right button, there we go. So you can see how as it retreats, it lowers to a level spot on the combine. And almost every combine works like that. So that's just something to watch out for. But let's continue on with the plan and harvest a little bit more. Let's see how much we can get done tonight. I think that... I don't know if we can finish this whole field. That's a lot. That's a lot to finish. We should probably call it quits here pretty soon. As the sun sets, you get more dew and moisture, and things just don't work as well when the combine is wet, when the crop is wet. Whoops, I think I just missed a little bit. We'll hopefully it wasn't too long. I'm scared to look on the way back. Alright, well, I think we'll call that an episode, and we will finish this field tomorrow. So, no, let's go a little bit more. Okay. Sorry for the indecision. It hasn't been that long of an episode. We can give a little bit longer of an episode. Maybe, well, I don't know. Maybe I should do it in 2 episodes. I could have a bonus episode on Saturday. Maybe that's what we should do. Yeah, let's do that. I will put out a bonus episode on Saturday. I do need to make a video closing up the Growly map. It's too much having 2 maps and 2 series and a full-time job and a wife that wants to spend time with me. It's just too much. And I am still trying to put out my own map, which I work on that on the side as well. It's just, I can't do 2 maps. It's doing the Growly map 2 times a week. You know, I'm at the point where I need to be testing my own map, so I can't really afford to spend more time on another map that's not my own other than this one. So I think that I will close up the Growly map, and then I will spend some time, you know, I might do multiplayer testing with the same guys on my map, which would allow me to keep the server going, and then it allows me to still use my time for, you know, testing on my map, and I would just record whenever I'm there. But I think I'll take the thing where the Growly's, you know, the Growly map is 2 times per week whenever I get time for it. It's just, it was too much of a commitment. I think I'll take that off. But I'll probably make a short video in the Growly thread, you know, the Growly playlist on that map, concluding that statement. I haven't totally made up my mind yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. But for now, I think we will sign off and say thanks for watching this little opening of the West Coast. We should have a bonus episode up shortly on Saturday. This is Friday's episode, in case you're watching it on another day and have no idea what I'm talking about. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to give me a thumb and subscribe and comment. Remember, I need a name for that little blue tractor. I'd like to call it something other than Little Blue. So it needs a name. And when we come back, I will give you a story about how Frederick's name came to be, or Von Frederick, as he is formally called. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Have a great evening, weekend, whatever time of day or week it is for you. I hope you enjoyed. And I'm really saying goodbye this time. I know I just keep talking, but it's really gonna be goodbye this time. Maybe we'll wait until we get to the end of this row, and then it will really be goodbye. I promise. For real. Okay. And no, okay, we're gonna turn around first, and then it will be goodbye. I promise. I am much better at keeping my promises to my wife, believe me. Otherwise, she'd be pretty mad. Anyway, here we go, guys. We are getting done for the night. I will meet you all tomorrow morning after we have had a good night's rest and the sun cools things, or well, not cools, the sun dries things off in the morning. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. For really this time, goodbye.